29 minutes before the top of the hour. The State Department revoking the visas of the family of the illegal immigrant accused of attacking pro-Israeli marchers in Colorado, saying this. The secretary did exactly what he said he would do, support the administration's objective of getting terrorists and their family members out of America. Former acting DHS Secretary Ken Cuccinelli joins us now. Ken, this guy wanted to be caught. He thought he'd be killed. He said, I wanted my oldest kid to graduate high school before I did this attack. So he's thinking it out. 3 separate gas stations, so no one suspected. Wears a reflector vest, acts like a landscaper. So he is not dumb. He may be evil, but not dumb. How do you feel about them pushing his family out, too?
Well, I absolutely support that. Look, these B-2 visas, this is a tourist visa that is most commonly used. You know, you've asked the question about why hasn't this been fixed since 9/11? If you divide that time period in half, the first half, there were more people here illegally who simply overstayed a legal visa. More recently, people have crossed the border illegally in the first place in greater numbers. And of course, there's, especially after the Biden administration, there's many more of them here now. This tactic is an old tactic for people who want to harm America, and we've never had the political will. The closest we came was the first Trump administration to actually pursuing these people once their visas run out, including the entire families. And it's absolutely appropriate to remove the family of a terrorist. As Marco Rubio had announced, you know, that's something that we should be doing as a matter of course. These people don't have the right to stay here. It's a total privilege to come to the United States. And it was incredibly abused for evil purposes here.
So let's look at the system right now. It is pretty daunting. How many people are overstaying their visas? And you wonder if we have the resources to round them up. I mean, people that overstay between 650 to 850,000 between 2016 and 2022. Obviously, the number's grown. 2017, 5 million people living in the U.S. overstaying the visas. 36 visa overstays convicted of terrorism-related charges. 4 of the 9/11 hijackers visa overstays. Do we have the resources or a system to kick them out, Ken?
Well, as you all report on frequently, the big struggle for the most aggressive administration, President Trump's second administration, on dealing with this problem, their biggest impediment there are 2. One is just logistics and building the pipeline big enough to find, catch, and remove these people. But the other is the courts. And there's so much due process in place. And to me and so many other Americans, if you break into this country effectively, if you break our laws to be here, you shouldn't get that benefit on the way out. And that's really slowing the president down. Despite the fact that we right now, have the most aggressive administration since 9/11 in removing folks like this, especially the ones who present even possible national security threats. There's no reason we should gamble with that. We should err on the side of the safety of the United States. I know President Trump feels that way, but we have a very difficult system for moving these folks out, and the logistical pipeline hasn't yet been built to do it with the Department of Homeland Security. It is, I will say, the best cooperation the Department of Homeland Security has gotten across government, for instance, the State Department, Justice Department, Defense Department, that I've ever seen. We didn't get that in the first Trump administration. It now exists in spades, well represented by Tom Homan in the White House.
We had to go through Ken, we had to go through a lot of people before we got the right people. Ken Cuccinelli, you're right. And also immigration reform. They could have expedited removal. There might be some Democrats that think that we should have that too.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Ken Cuccinelli, thank you. And by the way, to get immigration reform, you need to seal the border. This president has done that in 11 weeks.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.